We doing? Absolutely. I mean, living in South Florida, you see it firsthand. So we're all for it. I mean, a lot of our fan base is Hispanic, because that's the demographic down there. So absolutely, the more you can push it, the better it is for the game and for everybody involved.
And when they show up during the finals, he was like talking about soccer, but they were talking about hockey.
Absolutely, yeah. We certainly felt the support back at home in Florida. So. I think it just says to Florida being a hockey town, a hockey place, and I think it says to the game being pushed in the right direction in Florida. A lot of especially a guy in the middle on the power play. You need the puck delivered to you at the right times. Especially the way most teams kill in that diamond formation, that's a vulnerable spot for penalty kills. I've been fortunate enough to have some good guys put me in some good spots to finish it off, and I think you see a couple go in early, and it just helps the confidence that much more. I think so. I think it just says to what our power play is, what we're trying to execute. I think it's some good pieces that are drawing some coverage away and good timing. I think we struggled a little bit earlier and then we found it again. So, it's a big part of anyone's success as a team in this league. There's it's certainly when you have a starter like this, it's there's things you try and think about what has put you in this spot, so you can replicate as much as possible. I think it's a lot of long summers of a lot of really good work, and this summer was ironically enough the less work I was able to do, just with less time and trying to get healthy and try and make sure your body can show up for another 82 game season and hopefully more. So. I think it was the best I'd felt with the short summer coming back this year. It's tough to not, be a part of it. I think the team we have in Florida, there's a lot more we're playing for, and there's a lot more we're excited and challenge ourselves with. Obviously me scoring some goals is going to help us get to there at the end of the day too. So, I think it's always something that it's tough to say out completely, but it's not what drives me. I think it has to be, yeah. I really like where our team is at. I love the style of play we're executing and trying to execute, and been put in some pretty good spots with some pretty good players, so I would say it's the most confident I've been, yeah.
Sam, what's the longest win streak you've ever
I don't know. I think we had a decently long one in Buffalo one year. I think my first year in Florida, we might have, I don't know if it was a home win streak or if it was a full win streak, might have been 13 or 14, I'm not sure.
Edmonton's got on the verge of tying 30 or 41. What goes into, when you're on a heater like that, what goes into it?
I think in this league, you see your style of play working. It's easier to kind of roll it over. We certainly feel it when we're playing our best in Florida, and it can go both ways. Obviously, you've seen some good teams, including us, go through a certain streaks throughout this year that you haven't been winning as much. When the league's this good, every team's this good. You probably have a little bit of luck in there, but they're certainly feeling it right now, and it's a little bit tougher for us to watch all Edmonton games being on the East Coast. I don't have it in me to stay up that late all the time, but you obviously take into account what they're doing and puts the league on notice.
Sam, when you got career changing,
got nothing but positive things to say about Kevin. He's certainly made it clear and certainly executed in trying to get me to a spot that I would be ultimately happy. And that's not always the case in this league. And I got nothing but positive things to say about him. Honestly, I think it could go both ways if the start didn't go. I think it makes it that much easier when you've got some stats to fall back on. The earlier the better, and the easier it's made on myself. I think being in Florida, a great home-work balance that makes it easy to stay in the moment, and some really good teammates.
How bad do you want to resign?
Absolutely, that's obviously the goal. That's from both sides. We both made that clear. So time will tell, but that's option A for sure.
You've never signed a long-term deal, which is kind of unique. Players of your stature, a lot of short deals. Is this finally time to break that trend?
Well, I think as a player, you want that comfort, and that's not going to change my drive as a player, as a person. But yeah, the short-term deals haven't been that easy. It was something that I joked with Joe Thornton a couple years ago in Florida. He had never had long. I think 2 or 3 was his longest, and to see the type of career he's had. So, but no, I think it's something you want to take advantage of every opportunity you can get for sure. It's been good. I mean, I got no issues with it being ongoing. They certainly don't either. We're both comfortable with where we're at. We're both trying to ultimately win a Stanley Cup this year, and that's where our focus is mainly. Doesn't have to be. I mean, we both know where each other stands. We both know we want to get something done, and we're both comfortable with how it's going. So it's not distracting me by any means, and. I think when you're trying to build something we're trying to in Florida, some things take time. Sorry, after. Honestly, that's not something that's crossed my mind. You talk about the race a little bit, but I've always been kind of a day-to-day guy, and that's what we have going on in Florida, and I've found it pretty easy to stay in that mindset. What's the rule, sorry? What's the rule that is a power? Oh, I see what you're saying. I think it would certainly change how some power plays, operate. I think. I mean, what are the numbers? Have you seen less shorthanded goals because of this rule, or you have a lot of stats? I don't know. I think I've slowly started to realize this as I've started to kill more that there is opportunities to produce on the penalty kill because. A lot of power plays aren't focused on it. You might not be as aware coming back, so certainly myself have tried to take advantage of that more, but I think maybe that might change the way a power play thinks a little bit, having that rule in place for sure. Probably it's a fine line. I don't have an answer of what to do, but sometimes you could get tapped in the face and you could be bleeding and you get a 4-minute. Sometimes you could get smoked in the face and you're not bleeding and you get a 2-minute. So I don't have an answer of how to change it. You're probably inviting a lot of referees' discretion into play, which probably isn't always the best case. Could put some too much pressure on them, and obviously too many opinions from the outside world. So I don't have an answer of how to change it, but certainly it's something I've thought about that doesn't always do the crime doesn't always fit. You guys. All good?